Good morning, everyone, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I'm going to try and not do that awkward thing I did yesterday, where I said, "Can you hear me?" and then was silent until somebody put a message on their chat so they could hear me. So I'm going to assume you can hear me, but if someone can just chuck a message in the chat to confirm that, that will be fantastic. I will continue talking in the meantime. So thanks everybody for joining today. I think some of you were on the sprint yesterday, which was a lot of fun. So lovely to see you again, and lovely to see some other people here today as well. So really looking forward to it. In terms of the format of today, or this stream anyway, if people haven't done one of these before, we'll do a couple of reading sprints, which will be half an hour each, and we'll have a 10-minute gap in between those. So we'll have 10 minutes of kind of chat at the start, half an hour of reading, another 10 minutes of chat, half an hour of reading, and then a kind of 10-minute wrap up. And we'll see how we feel after that second sprint. If people want to stick around and do another one, then maybe we can do a third one. I don't have a hard stop today like I did yesterday. So it should be a bit of fun, and hopefully everybody is enjoying the trash that they are reading for Gub August. In a minute, I'll show you what I'm going to be reading and talk about, and we can chat about the books that you're reading. But before I do that, two things to let you know. So firstly, there's a giveaway as part of this. So I have 6 Audible copies, so audiobook copies of this book, Street Siren by Tom Batt, which I reviewed on the channel a couple of months ago and really enjoyed. So I've got 3 for people in the US and 3 for people in the UK. So apologies to anyone who's somewhere else in the world, and I can see that there are a few people on who certainly are in the US or the UK. But the author's only able to generate codes for Amazon US or Amazon UK. So if you'd like to stand a chance of winning one of these codes, all you need to do is send an email to criminally@gmail.com and just state in that you want to be entered in the competition, and say if you're in the US or the UK. And I will then do a drawing this evening probably, and I'll put up I'll email the people who've won, and I'll also put an announcement up on my community tab or something like that. So that's the first thing. The second one is that I have a video going up as normal this evening at 5 p.m. UK time, kind of a wrap up on Garb August. Obviously, for some people, Garb August will still be very much continuing, but for me, it will be starting to wind down. So I'm going to do a little reflection on what I've read, and just I guess the meaning of Garb August, and ask for comments from people on how they found it. But I also have a very special guest. I have something prepared for that video, the likes of which you have never seen on BookTube before. So hopefully you will be able to watch it, and hopefully you will enjoy what I've got prepared for you. So yeah, something completely different. Anyway, what is everybody reading? Let me have a quick scroll through let me show you what I'm going to be reading actually. So I read yesterday Casca, God of Death by Barry Sadler. So this is the second book in the Casca series. I really, really enjoyed it, and it made me want to read the first book, because I think it's probably better if you've read the first book. It definitely felt like a sequel. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then I also read Kansas City Cop by Julie Miller, which is a Harlequin intrigue kind of romantic suspense novel. So I finished that this morning. That was a lot of fun. And then I will be starting during these sprints Endless Night by Richard Lehman. I can't remember if I've read this one before or not. It has a reputation as being one of his better ones, and quite kind of suspenseful and grueling. Kelsey at Slime and Slashers read it a while ago and really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to seeing what this one's like. So yeah, what is everyone else going to be reading during the sprints today? Let me have a scroll through the comments and see if anyone has put the books they're reading in yet. So Swank Enterprises has finished The Fog earlier on, a fantastic book, and now starting Escape from the Planet of the Apes, which seems like a classic Garb August choice. I was just watching Troy Trelap's Garb August video where he talked about it talked about, so basically what he's done for Garb August is read the Amazon preview of, I think, 6 different books, and one of those was one of the Planet of the Apes books. Thank you very much, Mean. That's very kind of you. So Tobacco Diaries finished the Superman 3 novelisation yesterday, and today is reading the Toxic Avenger novelisation. I'm amazed. I had no idea there was a Toxic Avenger book. I need to get hold of a copy of that as soon as I've finished my book buying ban. MJ is reading Jackie Collins, a absolutely fantastic choice for Garb August. Fantasia Suite is reading The Call by Mike Scardino. I don't think I know that one. I'll have to look that up. Golden Hands Magic is reading Being There. James is reading Edward Bunker's Dog Eat Dog. I need to read some Edward Bunker. I haven't read anything by him. But yeah, really looking forward to giving him a try at some point. Hulls Ells Gabe, and apologies, I'm still not sure if I'm saying your username correctly, is still reading her gay romance. So Chris Am says hello from Georgia. Hello, Georgia. Gareth is reading Time Clock of Death, which is one of the Nick Carter books. I read a Nick Carter book for Garb August last year and enjoyed it enormously. I definitely need to read some more. Colette is reading What She Found by Robert Dugoni. I think I've got one of his books on my Kindle, but I haven't read it yet. So I need to get to that at some point. Michelle is reading Snow Shark, which looks like a lot of fun. Acid Burns is reading Cows. Oh, okay. See what you think of that. I wasn't a huge fan. Golden House Magic is rereading the Fermata. That's a classic book. I love the Fermata. Right, I think I might have disappeared for a moment there, but I'm back. So Swamp Gas is reading Imaro by Charles Sanders. It's like Conan set in Africa. That sounds fantastic. DDB is reading Mutiny by J. McDonnell and Naval Adventure. Jonathan is reading He Died with His Eyes Open, which is fantastic. I hope you're enjoying it, Jonathan. Ellie Gorey says good morning. Good morning, Ella. Big Al is reading a pulp horror short story collection based on a B-movie video game. Okay, that sounds absolutely spot on for Garb August. Ella's reading I, the Jury, which is a classic. James is reading the second volume of the Blue Lock manga. I'm not familiar with that one. Chris Am 70 is reading The Forgotten Planet. Kerry is reading Street Siren. Ah, fantastic. Hope you're enjoying it. Andreas is still reading Chainsaw Hooker. Right, we're nearly at 10 minutes. So I'm going to suggest that we start the first sprint. So as I say, this will run for half an hour. I'll put up a timer on the screen, which I managed to completely mess up yesterday, but I've got the hang of doing it now. So I will put up a timer on the screen. So you should be able to see that, and you should hear the bell when it finishes as well. And then we can get back together and chat about what we've been reading for 10 minutes, and then do another sprint after that. So let's do it. Let's read some trash. Right, that's 30 minutes up. The timer didn't make a noise, so I will need to let me quickly find another one and we can use that instead for the next sprint. So, how did everyone get on? I managed 50 pages of Endless Night, which went from being... So I read the whole of the first part and then started reading the second part. The first part reads a bit like a kind of... what's the guy called? Like a kind of a bit YA. It's about a home invasion, but it's kind of just really fast-paced and not that graphic and wasn't too bad. And then the second part wildly shifts gear and very quickly became hugely disturbing. So that was quite interesting. So how did everyone else get on? Who have we got? Oh, Wendy's here as well. Hello, Wendy. Nice to see you. I hope you're managing to read, because I know you have been a bit in a bit of a reading slump. Alan's here as well. Hello, Alan. Right, what's everyone managed to read? So Ella's read 18 pages, but started a bit late. Al's read 21 pages. Kevin's got through 58% of his book. DDB's read 25 pages. Swank Enterprises read 25 pages as well. Ella managed to get 2 deaths and some almost sex in the 18 pages that she read, so that's good. Kerry's reading 29 pages. Has read 29 pages. Hope you're enjoying it, Kerry. Acid Burns read the first 33 pages of Cows. I can't remember what happens in the first 33 pages, but I'm sure at least one disgusting thing must happen, given how much disgusting stuff there was in that. Michelle's read 35 pages, and it's very gory so far. That's good news. Hello, Celeste. And yes, thanks to people in the US for either staying up very late or getting up very early. It's great to see. It's quite an international. It feels like more of an international one today. So we've got people from Europe, people from the Americas, and people from Australasia. So quite a nice mix. Fantasia Sweet is reading The Devil in Connecticut. Chris, I managed 50 pages. That's excellent. Colette managed 22. Zach's reading a story about zombies and pirates, and a story about a princess and a unicorn having relations. So that's supposed to sound very Girl August appropriate. Mythos managed 40 pages. Gareth got through 24 pages of his Nick Carter. Alan's reading Paradise Lost. I'm not sure if that's really Girl August appropriate, but I hope you're enjoying it, Alan. Ghostbusters is on page 197 of the Nest. Andreas managed 20 pages. Tobacco Diaries has read 26 pages of Toxic Avenger. What's it like? Is it? I can't quite picture in my head what prose style the Toxic Avenger novelization would have. I really do need to get hold of a copy of it. Oh, sorry to hear that, Wendy. So yeah, Wendy's in a slump at the moment, so needs our support, everyone, to try and get her out of it. But great to see you here anyway, Wendy. Gareth's only got 15 pages left of the Nick Carter. Kerry's enjoying Street Siren. That's fantastic. I haven't played Cyberpunk 2077. My son plays it. I think he's played through it 3 times now, and really likes it. So I do need to. I would quite like to give it a go at some point, but we've only got it on his PC, which is in his bedroom. So I will probably not be able to do that. Just realised I was still sharing the timer, so I've stopped doing that. And I didn't start the 10-minute timer either, so we'll chat for a couple more minutes. and then we'll see how we get on. So Talkative Avenger reminds you of Mad Magazine, but way more mature. Yeah, that sounds about right from what I remember of the film. I do need to see the films again. I've certainly seen the first three, but the third one I saw at the cinema. Um, but it was one of those weird things, wasn't it? Toxic Avenger, which kind of just took off a bit. There was even, I think, a kids' TV show, like a kids' cartoon show of it at some point. So Ghostbusters has got two lesser-known books from a thrift store: Death, Sleep, and Crib. Yeah, not heard of either of those. Alan's also a fan of Mad Magazine, so I'm a fan of Mad Magazine as well, albeit I've not read a huge number of them. But my kind of online handle on Twitter and indeed Instagram as well, and places like that is What Me Worry, which clearly is inspired by Mad Magazine and Alfred E. Newman. Acid Burn says Chaos is trying too hard to offend. I know what you mean. It just feels what's the term that people use nowadays? Edgelord. Feels like he's being a bit of an edgelord, doesn't it? Kevin loved Cracked magazine. I've never read Cracked. Yes, never read that one. Right, let me share another timer then. Right, let's get rid of that one. I prefer this one. This is the one I was using yesterday. So let me share that, and we can start another sprint for half an hour. Let's just answer Celeste's question. So Mad Magazine is a kind of a satirical comic magazine from the US, which I think is still going. It's been going since like the 50s, and it's very silly and very funny at times. And it's the only, so it was published by, I don't know if it still is, but originally it was published by EC Comics, who made all the horror comics, and it was the only one of their comics that survived the kind of clamp down on graphic content in comics that happened in the States. So yeah, it's fun. Oh, Ghostbusters managed to find a UK copy of Chainsaw Terror. I agree, it's fun, but it's definitely quite graphic. That's a shame. So Mad closed down a few years ago. I got on Humble Bundle ages ago loads of like digital copies of Mad magazine. So I need to start working through them. Right, Kerry is going to head to bed. So good night, Kerry. Thanks for joining us. It was really great to see you here, and yeah, get a good night's sleep, and see you again in the comments tomorrow. Oh, Nadine's here. So Nadine's reading some Richard Lehman as well. So 142 pages into Night Show. I've got a copy of Night Show somewhere, so I need to give that one a try. I think that's one I have read before, but not for a long time. Right, let me share the timer then, and we will start another 30-minute sprint and see how we get on. What am I doing? Okay, let's do it. Talk to you in 30. Hello. Right. That's the second sprint done. Let me stop sharing this. So how did everyone get on? I managed another 50 pages of the Richard Layman. I'm quite enjoying it, but it's definitely got its disturbing moments. But it did have a reference to the 87th Precinct series by Ed McBain, which is my favourite book series of all time. So it definitely gets a thumbs up from me for that. So how did everyone else get on? Let's go through. Let's see where we got to. Oh, John's here. Hello, John. God, it's after 1 a.m. where Alan is. That's very late, Alan. It makes me tired to think about that time of day. That's the time of day I never see. When he's watching Miss Potter. Kevin finished his novella. Now feels like he needs to wash his mouth out. Can you remind us what it was, Kevin? I can't remember which one it was. Was it the? No, I can't remember which one it was. So yeah, put that in the comments. I'll have to check it out. Whatever it was. So let's just finish that chapter. Ghostbusters is up to page 209 of The Nest. Ella managed 14 pages, and there was actual sex and an attempted shooting. But she's at work, so she has to do some work. Oh dear, I feel guilty for pulling you away from your work. But glad to have you here anyway. DDB managed another 28 pages. Fantasia Suite managed 20 pages. Gareth finished his Nick Carter book. It's 3:20 in Texas. Good Lord. So the only time I see 3:20 is when I wake up in the middle of the night and go to the loo. I certainly would never be awake at that time otherwise. Let's confirm that the sex and duty were in the book and not at work. That's good to know. Celeste read 8 pages of The Invisible Man. Michelle's 60% through her book, and there's lots of blood. Acid Burns read 29 pages and had the first WTF moment in Cows. I'm trying to remember what happens in chapter 13. I might have to grab my coffee off the shelves later on and have a look. Zach got through most of the story about a college girl babysitting zombies, which sounds good. It's 12:20 in Alaska, and 2:20 where Zach is. So where I am in the UK, it's 9:20. John's saying Endless Night is the most disturbing book he's ever read. It certainly switches between being not disturbing to very disturbing, John. You'll know what I mean in terms of the different narrators. Nadine managed another 20 pages of her Layman. Gareth is saying 3:20 is his bedtime. That's because you're a rock and roll star, Gareth. You can do late nights. I definitely can't. Kevin's book is Nympho Nurse's Ton Up Terror. Okay, I definitely need to read that because that's a fantastic title as well. Tobacco Diaries managed another 25 pages of The Toxic Avenger. DDB says it's 8:23 in Australia. So I'm happy to do another sprint if people want to. So I was originally just going to do 2, but if people want to do another one, I'm happy to do that. So shout in the comments if you want to do another one. Andreas has read 20 more pages of Chainsaw Hooker. It turns from extreme to OTT trash to sweet. Okay, that sounds perfect. I'm going to have to read that. 10:20 in New Zealand. Oh, good to see. I didn't realise we had some from New Zealand as well. That's great to hear. John, I think the best thing you can do is make sure she's getting the help that she needs and make sure her parents are aware. So 4:20 where Ella is. Swank Enterprises and Michelle both up for another sprint. Sounds like Swamp Gas 76 is as well. I need to reply to your email, so thank you for that. I will try and reply to that today. I just didn't have time yesterday. It's 1:30 for Kevin, so time for bed. Yep. Agree, Kevin. That's definitely too late for me. Wendy's going to stay with us, and Zach wants to do one more. Well, I'm going to cheat a bit. So Tobacco Diaries can do one more, so that's good. So let's start another sprint. I'm going to cheat a little bit and turn my camera off for the first 5 minutes because I really need a cup of tea. So I'm going to start the sprint and then quickly make myself a cup of tea, and then I will be back and reading. So let's get that timer reset. Night, Kevin. No scones, but I've got a trashy donut. A trashy donut with pink icing and sprinkles. That felt appropriate. So I will have that with my cup of tea. Anyway, I'm going to start the sprint. Let me share the timer. Okay, let's get ready, everyone. I'll be back in. Okay, hello again. So that's our third sprint done. I managed 45 pages more of Endless Night, which is continuing to be quite exciting. I'm quite enjoying it. I did make myself a cup of tea at the beginning and then managed to spill it halfway through as well. I banged it against my microphone when I went to pick it up. So I had to clean that up as well. So I didn't get quite as much reading done. Sorry, Wendy. It was quite a nice donut. So anyway, how did everyone else get on with their reading? Just looking through the comments. Yeah, how do you all get on? We'll have a quick chat now and then wrap things up, and I'll let people who are in places where it's very late go to bed, and everyone else get on with their days. And just a reminder, as I said at the start, but if anyone wasn't around at the start, I've got audible copies of Street Siren by Tom Batt, which I reviewed on the channel a couple of months ago, to give away. I've got 3 for people in the US and 3 for people in the UK. So send me an email at the address that's on the screen, criminally@gmail.com, and I will draw 3 winners, 3 in the UK, 3 in the US, this evening. So if you're watching this on replay, as they say on Catch Up TV, do not enter the competition because your vote will not be counted. But yeah, if you're watching this live, then feel free to drop me an email, and I will draw winners tonight. Okay, how's everyone getting on? So Celeste nearly got to the end of the chapter. I was very pleased. I just managed to get to the end of not even a chapter, but a part of the book I'm reading. So that was good. DDB managed another 28 pages. Andreas getting closer to the end than he needs a shower. Gareth got some more pages done. Celeste managed another 8 pages. Swank Enterprises is at page 60. Ghostbusters 334 is on page 220. So yeah, in terms of that label book, I'm almost halfway through it. So I'm pretty sure I will manage to finish it today. But I have got quite a lot of videos I need to film as well. Nadine got another 35 pages in. Yeah, and it has been a nice way to start the day. I might start doing these kind of reading sprints more regularly. It seems like there's loads of people in the state, like loads of booktubers in the States that do them, but less booktubers in the UK that do them. So maybe I'll do them this sort of time on a weekend morning for people in the UK. Big Al's eating some mac and cheese, or macaroni cheese, as we call it over here. Bernard's read a chapter of Simply Scandalous, a spicy Harlequin romance. That sounds fantastic. Ella managed 11 pages, but then she is at work. Zach's hit the halfway point of Zombies versus Unicorns. The story is called The Care and Feeding a Few Baby Killer Unicorns. MJ says, fantastic reading, everyone. Foxfolio's managed 6 pages. Sorry, we're wrapping up, but yeah, feel free to continue reading on your own. I'll probably do some more reading later on. And yes, as MJ says, you could watch the replay and pretend it's live. So yes, let's wrap up there. Looks like there's some support for UK sprints. So yeah, maybe I'll do these again in the future. Right, let me hide that. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. It's been really fun. I've really enjoyed it and got some good reading done as well. So I will wrap up now. But just a reminder, as I keep saying, there's something extra special in my video today, which I think people will get a kick out of. So look out for that. And yeah, thank you very much for joining. Thanks for taking part in Garb August. Thanks for supporting the channel and all that good stuff. And hope you have fantastic Sundays. And I will see you again soon. Cheers.